I don't even actually know how long of this game's left. I guess a fuck ton of it. Because not loads of people have died. Right. Oh, voices. Jesus Christ. Byakuya, what about the Genocide Jack case file? Can you let me see it?
Fine.
Well, you didn't beg, so I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look into it, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos of the scene of each crime had been collected. Nice! The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on the several pages. Hen Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaka, 23. Hana Ise, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Tatsuana Taro. Takefumi Gono. Uchida Neisi. Takeshi Nasaume. God. Putting practice in. Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All the killers, countless victims, were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. At the same time of every murder, the word bloodlust was left on the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page. Why does it look like he's jizzing into the book? Profiling results. Ooh, okay. All the crimes took place on either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time of the killings took place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on the facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was an external reason for this. Okay. This confusing behaviour suggests all the suspects may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder, which is what Ipsy said last time. Key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. Split personality? The kind of thing you see on TV? Oh. So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story, but this one is more unbelievable than anything else until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Right, okay, so we've got the case file.
Let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We've finished our business here. Haven't we? Wait, Byakuya? As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part with Why. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with you.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really just think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself. Do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. Ah, nice one. Okay. If you want to block some other terms, I could look away from chat. Okay. Fuck's sake. And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he'd cut me off. In the end, it felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack, that's the one who killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? Don't have to find. I have to find out, no matter what it takes. Can someone message stuff in chat? Because the notifications of the just spam the chat with stuff because the notifications of what he's done is still there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Right, we're thank you, Lightning. I like how we've gone back down to normal viewer numbers as well, so we might be safe for the rest of it, but thank you anyway. If you can think of anything else to put in the auto mod stuff, I guess warn me first, but like do it and then instantly spam the chat. Streaming's fun. Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't know, like, there's a few things that I just know the spoilers for, but still can enjoy them. So I guess we just try our best to win with that now, so it's fine. But who is it? I have to find that out, no matter what it takes. Well, that's fine, because like the more accurate they are, the more useful it's going to be. And also, if auto mods on, you're now going to have to be ready for all the swear words in chat that are absolutely allowed. So, might have to be shit out on them because I'm not in the mod view. Anywho, and to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info that might be useful while I'm at it. Need to find everything I can. Okay. What you could do, Lightning, put the names of all the characters but in alphabetical order, so I don't know there's any correlation to it. If you're willing, or random order, is fine. I'm just thinking, obviously they're going to put name, thing that happens. At least if you put the names, they literally can't do anything. So just do it in a random order, or alphabetical order. And at least then everyone's safe. Locker rooms. I also set to talk to everybody as well. I wonder if there's a limited... Because obviously we kind of feel like I just found everything. So I've got to talk to everybody. I don't know if... So say if someone just puts Makoto now, I don't know if that blocks it. We'll see, Ding ding ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another strat increased for me. Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet. Mods might be immune to it. Downside of having all mods, I guess. But I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. His? Oh. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she say?
Well, it would seem...
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where is Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. The warehouse? She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Right, so Celeste is hiding somewhere. I'll check everywhere else first. Oh yeah, there's a dead person here. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard your hero talk about it, right? All I need is to be stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Did you spell it wrong? No? What did you... I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But She really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Oh, I literally just... Fuck you, you're not allowed to use it. Oh, you know what, whatever. It's fine. I feel like damage is done, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. Chihiro's complex. Where did it come from? So have I technically spoke to all these people? Chihiro's presence here was especially weak. Her body and her soul.
No forgiveness.
To target such a helpless being, it's unforgivable. What a wretched beast to do such a thing. I cannot forgive this. So the issue is, I pride myself on being like, bang, I can see chat instantly. I've already cut like my effectiveness in half to try and stop it, but you could probably still keep like killer, mastermind, and murdered though. You could probably still keep those as broad ones. It might be, if that's in it, it'll just bang, take it all out. So I'd say maybe keep them in. But my idea of the people, yeah, obviously don't do that. It's terrifying seeing that face, but her speaking in that voice. A blood was written on the wall, just like your cases. Blood was written on the wall, which we knew. Do you know anything yet? I think this code is causing the problem. 2 seconds. Oh. Ah. Hey Kyoko, have you made any progress in the investigation?
Indeed.
Genuinely speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to kick out. What? Besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so
yeah,
then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time. Thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. Guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Chihiro's handbook. Oh, so the fact that it's missing is a clue. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I don't know how thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Psych. Well, better give it a shot. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. Rope was just a proper rope in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? The rope has a plug? Wait, so then it doesn't a rope at all? Well, the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right, there's an issue with being suspended and the fatal blow. First, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? One more thing, most likely to tie all this together. True nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. To figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Really? So, don't I have that file? I don't actually have to go back. Nope, I have to go back and look at it. Okay, so where did we get a plug from? Are the monitors working? One of the monitors appears. Can't help but think. Oh, wow, it's not bothered. You don't need to block that term. People are allowed to tell the truth, Blood Bowl. Wait, what? Knowledge to the pool. Oh. There's still more I need to check. Is there? There's a blood stain on the carpet. Could only be caused by Chihiro's murder. Let me check this. There's a big blood stain on the dung bell on the floor. And the recorder file said the fatal injury was a blow to the head. This dung bell has to be used as the murder weapon. Bloodstain poster. The blood is most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Cause that room doesn't seem like the kind of place. Doesn't seem like the kind of place you find something like this. Is that a hint?
Damn.
We've already seen that. Have I missed something? Just wanted me to check everything first? Oh, you go away. The posters have been switched. Oh, this poster. Popular band called Tornado. Someone doesn't seem quite fit for the boys' locker room. Oh wait, but that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... That's right. There's definitely something strange about it. Oh, for fuck's sake. So in the boys' locker room there's a poster of the popular boy band. The girls' locker room there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? If they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe we should talk to someone who knows a little bit more about the locker rooms. Well, there's no way the death happened in here. Right. I haven't even been in here yet. Like, ever. Oh, I can move around. That's weird. Why is that a thing? Okay, depends who I'm speaking to. Right, I'm just in the middle of the pool now. There's some kind of clue in the locker? Guess not. What's that for? Okay, so there's nothing there. So people who know the locker rooms very well. There's still more to find. Oh, sorry, shit. But you let me go into the pool. Oh, fuck! I just completely missed that. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? So the death happened in here? Camera, but that's not going to give us anything. Yep. Right, okay. So let's go and see Sakura, because Sakura knows the locker rooms quite well, I assume. So I'll talk to Aoi. You spent a lot of time exercising in the girls' room, right?
Of course.
I used it. I used it nearly every day since it opened. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' room lockers rooms have switched?
Sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really pay attention to the posters. I say.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but don't have a lot of options. I mix powdered protein, all the way around, with coffee and down a glass of it before exercise. That's fucking disgusting. Anyway, the other day, I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain. The fuck? A stain? I'm not saying it's on the carpet now. Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and did it. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there were a stain at all? Wow, that's a lot of effort, so... It was strung up in the boys' locker room? And then brought into here? That's fucking obvious, though. That's like an obvious thing to do, to swap the pictures around just because there's some blood on it. Right. Oh, right, yeah. So we need to find Hina. We need to find Hina, Celeste. We need to check the genocide file again. I think that's it. And talk to anybody we come across, really, but... Where's the warehouse? Near the dormitories. Are you having fun there, Bloodbore? Just see things happening? What counts as the warehouse? Bath? Toilets? That's not the warehouse. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I could find a list to add things where it would hold to review. Oh, right, okay. That's fine. What's the warehouse? Oh, I see it. Can I have ever been in here? Oh, just me and you in here, Celeste. Surveillance camera. Mastermind must have been watching as Chihiro was killed. Why are you saying that here? Is this the fridge? Is this the fridge Sayaka mentioned? Don't say anything noteworthy here. So all kinds of stuff piled up here. Towels, jackets, looks like they've put together a good collection of school equipment. Yeah, man. That's how I want to spend my Wednesday night. Oh, we need to find out where the cable came from as well. Shit. We'll do the obvious things and then... Hello. Hello. Hi, Celeste. What are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything relating to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you. You can misdirect me anywhere you want, Celeste. I see it was pointless. Then you did find something? Very well, I will tell you. And only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her. Here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Right. So, this is stupid. Can I just only notice that Celeste's hair is like a dark blue? Oh, a thing for blue hair, I'm not gonna lie. It's black there, but in there it was blue. Oh, man. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would have ever happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. Yeah, damn right you do! So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. The strange thing is, there was no trace of a track jacket or duffel bag. Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Did you mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow? Okay. Can we still use the map and the kill bit to find out where people are? Yay! Oh, hey there. How's Toko doing? Same as before. She won't come out, and she just keeps on mumbling something about genocide, Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head is all swimmy, and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah!
Oh, well, don't worry. I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Maybe Kyoko's third, and Hina's second. Toko's not exactly pleasant. I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating? A donut, of course! Of course? There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really? I bet your hero would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. That's horrible. Oh, I should have spent more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well,
Yeah, she was looking a bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused because I'm not actually talking.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's true. It wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. So she went to train with someone in the boys using the other notepads. I don't know. She talked to all of the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex? I'm totally fine with the opposite sex. No, I'm like that, and I'm like that. Oh wait, maybe she was just a guy spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. That was fucking useless. I think it was. Oh, fuck's sake. Hang on. There's a queue. Oh.
Yeah,
Why is that a thing? So I can see Celeste better. Right, I need to go and check the notebooks as well. Oh man. I need to talk to more people as well. I feel like maybe the AV room. Oh, you. Let's talk to you.
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
What's up? Oh, I haven't been up to anything myself. That's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. What's the mailbox? Oh. Yeah, Junko, Leon, and Sayaka's ebooks. Huxley's ebooks are of dead students. Oh, brought here. There's a mailbox somehow. Loaning is prohibited, but lending, but there's no problem with borrowing one. Also, Leon's handbook refused to turn, so how do we know it's Leon's handbook? According to Monokuma, it shouldn't be broken. Is this really unrelated to the case? Either way, something about it still bothers me. So she went training with a male. I think that's her ebook that smashed. She swapped it with Leon's to get in because she was desperate to train with someone. But then who? If it's Mondo, I'll just be very disappointed. We should go check the case again, so we'll go do that now. If I run in... Oh, hello you. Let's talk to you.
How unfortunate.
Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it! I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. Fucking useless. I thought he'd have been more useful. Where am I going? Let's have to check out the case again, so we're gonna go and do that now. We've checked all this. Wait, what? When box is empty. Extension cord was in there before. Destination is Tragan. I'll take another look at the genocide case. Note around here somewhere. What? It's gone. Yeah, I don't think he's made that thing though. I don't think we've been given any bullets for it. Well then who would have thought to come here to get that as a rope? Or maybe someone came here to research? And it is a copycat? Because like I say, it doesn't look the same. So we'll take out the cover. So the only one who would do something like that, can't think of anyone else but Byakuya. Where the fuck's that Ponzi prick? Because I wasn't sure if there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Right, check the map. There's something in the library to look at? Is there? Only 2 people up in the library a lot. Yeah, exactly. Taco, yeah. Is Taco blonde? Are you talking about Byaku, yeah? I know who's who. I don't actually know the people by name. It's only don't know how to say the names sometimes. Under the glasses. That's my killing game. We've already read all this before. Mastermind's motive. Can figure out what the impression was. Hoping to get out of here. Or... what am I looking for here? Yaki, you wear glasses, yeah. Oh wait. Oh. Help us put in boots. Too much of a clue here though. Guess not. Is the lamp a clue? Huh? The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. Last time I saw it was definitely on. Definitely right here. That's right. Byaku was using it as the extension cord. There's an extension cord here right now. I wonder if... boom. There we go. What? No.
I'm
No, we're not done, are we?
Shall we just plunge right in?
Lightning, right now. Can you actually miss stuff if you don't do it in time? I feel like we started loads to check there. We haven't found the ebook. We haven't talked to everybody. Oh. Okay. It did feel like I started loads to do though. But fine. Okay. Oh, here we go. For some reason I think Byaku is the punctual. Oh, no, that's Taka. So I can see where you get confused. Yeah.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial.
So the issue I'm having at the minute, streaming the in-between bits, is a bit rough for me because the voices get on my nerves. But the trial bits, oh my god.
You remember where to meet, right?
Fucking right I do.
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Begin the class trial or... that's where I begin. Oh, here we go. Let's hope I remember how to play the game. Oh, so is everybody ready to? What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taco's not here. And Taco is... You really don't remember?
Come on.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? He's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. Just like that, a few moments later, he reappeared, dragging Taco behind him. Wow. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. Can't believe you drag a girl around. terrible! You're terrible! Phew. And so now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle on the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. But she died. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. That murderer is one of us. So I think it's definitely a guy. Has to be a guy. Just try. Let's check now to quickly sort of like get ideas out of the way. I think Byakuya is too obvious that it could be him. I don't think it's Mundo. I think Mundo's too nice. I don't think it's a female. Nope. So I think it wasn't Leon's e-book. We just assume it is. I think whoever killed her somehow managed to break her e-book and then swap it for Leon's so that Chihiro could get into the boys' locker room without getting shot to death. But then we don't know where that is, and that's what I thought we still had to do, but we haven't found it, so we don't know. So yeah. So yeah, I guess it's either Taka, Hifumi, or the surfer dude. I can't remember his name until someone tells me it. Someone standing right here. Hero, yeah. You ready? We doing this? So I think it's one of these three. I mean, obviously, like, why exercising? But like, the thing could be him because like he's the most physical of like all of them, of all the males. I don't know. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. Give a small nod in reply. One last deep breath and walk toward the elevator on shaky legs. I assume someone else used it, probably a girl. The handbook turned off after it. Probably like, I think maybe Murakuma did. So like I say, you can't tailgate, you have to have your own e-boot to get through the door. And I think the murder happened in the boys' room and got moved to the girls' room to try and shift blame. So she would have had to have a male's e-book to get through. So I think she had Leon's. And then that one that's broken in the pile is just assumed to be Leon's, but it's actually hers. But we don't know how it broke. So yeah, we'll find out. Find out, I guess. Couldn't handle my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. Steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds, deeper and deeper into the ground. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in the air grew bigger and bigger. I'm just excited for the death, to be honest. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation, until finally came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time. The stupid questions. Let's get this over with. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Deadly riddle, deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. I've completely forgot how to do this. I'll learn Guitar Hero style. I'll remember it as I go. Right. Open ebook. No real reason to. truth bullets to look at, I guess. Time of death estimated around 2 a.m. This is from the girls' locker room. We think it happened in the boys' locker room on the second floor. Koldeck was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was instantly killed, which we don't believe is part of Genocide Jack's killing method. So we think it's a copycat. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro stated that she desired help with her efforts. She may have been meeting with someone in the locker room, then that she was murdered, which we think could be a male. Dumbbell was found in the girls' locker room. Has a significant amount of blood on it. Blah blah blah. Chihiro told everyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. If it's Mundo, I'll be sad. Mundo's like my favourite male. To unlock the locker room, you need to swipe your e-book over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook to enter the boys' room and a female student's one for the locker room. It is not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your e-book is a violation of the school regulation. Handbook reach that died placed in the... Well, that's not enough information that we got from that. One of the handbooks found in the main hall has been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbooks both seem to still work, so it is assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Manuel claims that it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Suspect Genocide Jack victims included names. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. Blood loss was found at the crime in blood. Profiling indicates the killer likely a student suffering from a split personality. Oh! Does Hifumi have split personality? It goes like this, goes like this! Like randomly? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Noted. Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from the girls, even from the beginning. Now I've been noticed that she got remarkably well with the males. Cup in the boys' locker room has a blackish stain, which we know is the coffee. Blood on the post from the girls' locker room. Post a big-breasted woman. Meanwhile, one which we know was swapped. This handbook was not found on a corpse. It's apparently gone missing, and we didn't find it. Hero's dead body was suspended, and her hands have been bound by some kind of rope. Fatal injury was a blow to the head. That wire is the extension cable from the library. Saka mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain on the girls' locker room floor. However, the stain since has been explicitly scrubbed away. Miyake known to use the lamp often. However, the extension cord has gone missing at some point, and the lamp's cord doesn't quite reach the outlet. On the night of murder, right before night time, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Probably was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the scene of the crime. Celeste had not told anyone in Makoto about this, so that's how it is in the hole. Right. Let's do this. Let's see what skills we've got. Lost in Thought. Increases the time limit for each phrase. Effective during class trial costs 3. Right, well... I've already got one slot. Oh no. Melody's voice. So increases the damage to an opponent the same as destroyed, which was the bullet time battle, which is the last part. Handiwork allows you to reload 2 bullets at once. Effective during bullet time battle costs 4. Right, okay. Well, we've got the space for both of them anyway, so fuck it. Yeah? Right, we're sorted. Here we go. Again, kind of can't remember the buttons. I should be okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
I'm so excited.
Now, your votes will determine the results.
Yep.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the failed blow. Here we go. Locker room dumbbell. Nice.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Yeah,
It appears it was a head wound.
it was.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But
Yep.
what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
Fuck you.
Interesting.
Shit, I missed!
That certainly would make for a
Oh my god!
Poor Chihiro.
So we actually got to like... Oh my god, right, okay, right, okay.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting.
That timing, man!
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's, it appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument? I bet it was an iron pipe.
That's so fast!
No, it's wrong.
I know, but it's like, because you fire from like
Can we
here,
agree that the
it's
object
really
that
weird.
dealt
You're
the
not firing
fatal
straight
blow
at
was
us.
the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime. It was covered in
That's fine,
blood,
I'll
and there
I'll
was nothing else at the
calibrate
scene
to it,
that
it's fine.
could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Just a gaping hole.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
There's also the timing of how long it takes to load the bullet and fire it as well. There's a big time difference there.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
You.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Okay.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is... the fiendish serial killer.
Oh, shut up,
Genocide
man. Doesn't help us, does it? Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debate. Would you like to hear about it? Absolutely. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. What? Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these obstacles. Fuck, so I've got to get good now. Shit. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer. Which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual mark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Damn, we should have put it on gentle. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck, and have fun. So do I equip the silencer and then fire? Genocide Jack case file. This one's hard. I don't know whether this one actually fits in.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Oh, okay.
What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
Cool.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
I know. It's this. I'm starting to see holes in the metaphor now. It's coming less more like a metaphor. Just yeah, we're shooting things.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
Which is still missing, by the way. We didn't find the case file. We went back for
I
it.
guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every
bit of
Genocide
crucifix.
Jack case.
And bloodless
The
on the road.
first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
Oh, you piece of shit.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Oh, that's true.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
So I've got to. This is where I've got to do the hangman thing. How the victim's
I
position.
got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
I would like to take this random time to point out, I still fucking hate us as a protagonist. Just thought I'd leave that there.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Fucking love her.
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
That was my thing in Midnight, like anybody could be really.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Wow. Just throwing it out there like that? Not even halfway through the trial.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Associative identity disorder can't get around phobias. Here's best girl. Oh, go fuck yourself, Puff Daddy.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes
Hey.
and no.
I want it to be Toko, but nothing else makes sense that it's Toko. So, you know.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Makes no sense that was Toko given we think that was done in the male's room. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that. It's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Wait, what? Everyone's got... I don't actually know. Shh. I don't actually know. Sure. The fuck is it? Miss. Oh shit. Schism. Skits. Schizo.
Now I understand.
Yeah, let's hope we don't get anything else wrong or I'm fucked.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
I don't know what was going to be schizo, given that I don't even think it's been mentioned, has it? The ID's been mentioned.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Did it say schizo though, or did it say DID?
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Oh, shut the fuck up, you fat fuck.
Perfectly acceptable.
Oh, damn, why am I starting to like Byakuya?
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
That's true. I think that shows Byakuya has a split personality with her behavior. Her behavior changed. Like, massively.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
She did faint, but then... yeah, true.
Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then when she...
I feel like if it was long enough, I'd probably have gotten it though. I don't know. What is that? To be fair, that is my favourite line from this. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hi, are you dead? Just to hit her head real hard as she fainted. The world has a front and a back, and a top and an and a bottom. I see a truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Fuck you.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
But it wasn't her though. I really wanted it to be though.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
Okay.
She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
Can we kill her as well?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
You're an idiot.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Wow.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first.
No, it's just like, oh shit.
You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Fucking hell.
That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
He's so brutal.
I hate you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She's thought it was, but I think it was someone else. Like I say, I still think it was a male who did the killing in the male room. I think it's just someone else has a more controlled DID where they know they're swapping.
Well, the opening act
Not
is
by
nearly
choice, but
finished.
they are
All
swapping.
that's left is to hear from the
They're aware
person
of
in
it.
question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
What? Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. Huge thud echoed through the courtroom, but in this next second... How did they do that?
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Hi, Genocide Jill.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
What happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality.
What the fuck?
So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Damn it!
She's so intense.
But then, did she do it then?
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
My confusion now is like,
Yes, well,
Genocide
the
Jill's
world
like,
is composed
being like,
of
yeah,
unfortunate
cool,
accidents.
get fucked.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'll give him that.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
Is that a no then?
Just kidding!
Oh,
Then it's not true?
wow.
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Oh, man.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Damn.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
It's one that makes your song super long and red. Yeah.
Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Stop though. I mean, you could probably swing it as Genocide Jill would want everyone to die.
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us?
What, so you think it's Byakuya?
If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Oh, so the fact that she's Genocide Jill.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
That makes sense though, Mr. Midnight, could be.
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been...
It almost sounds too obvious though. But, like, it's pretty much perfect that it's him at this point, isn't it?
So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit. But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe? Maybe she's totally right about that, but still something bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. Oh, here we go. Status of the dead body. What do you mean? Oh, the hung with the cord.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Shit.
Give it up. You
Damn it!
killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi. Oh, an alibi.
When you compare your past murders to this instance, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong.
It's not.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Boom.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh man. Genocide Jill is so much better than Toko. Can it be Genocide Jill for the rest of the game?
I murder with passion and conviction.
Is it always with the scissors?
I
Is that what it
consider
is?
myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna go back and check. I guess I was actually supposed to maybe like look at it when I first saw it.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders photos from the other Genocide Jack cases. Look at the neck and the stomach. Yeah, that was it. It was the wound.
For one, The cause of death is different.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like it was stupid to not see it in the first place, though.
All the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
I think he wants another to have. Oh, right, so enough to follow it on, but not enough to reread it after finding more evidence. That makes sense. Because he guided us to the. Because he guided us to it, and then as soon as we saw that document, he left us to it, and he must have swiped it there and then, before we even looked at anything else. Nice one, Mr. Midnight. We would make the best detectives together. Well done.
Then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
I am now hungry.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how they were suspended. We'll make a detective series. Me and you doing like stuff like this where you've got to decipher it. I don't know how many logic games there are though. Feel free to do the research, we can do it on yours. And the photos of other genocide Jack cases. All the other, actually the Sherlock Holmes games are really good. But I've played 2 of them. The photos of the genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
I suppose we've got to do the whole freaking fill the scene when we're done, and I have no fucking clue how it would happen yet.
Well, in all the previous genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
Fuck. Why does genocide John have to be so good? If it moves back to normal Taco, I'm not playing this game anymore.
You know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each genocide Jack case.
Don't think they're all male?
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
I didn't notice anything with the ages. Partners might be a student by the time they were killed. They might all be male.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. Pants around the genocide Jack victims. Chihiro didn't fit it. Look at the names we've written, what you'll notice is because her friend was her lover.
I got it!
Oh, the other ones were even less obvious, so.
Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
I mean, all the names were Japanese names, so it was a bit risky to be like, yeah, but the other ones were like very not obviously not the answer.
What are you talking about?
In all the genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Oh, okay.
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl!
Chihiro was a girl and not an
How'd you kill in 2020?
You wouldn't kill her?
Hello, Volk. Yes.
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
I would.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Okay, so he's trying very hard.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive,
I'd have killed you.
why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
Yeah, man.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
She's the ultimate for a reason. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay,
Oh, shit.
whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
What, are you all talking about Celeste when you talk about ultimate best girl liars?
Are you
That's
sure
weird.
about that?
Huh. Wow. Thank you, Bloodboar.
She's fully equipped.
So she could happily kill anybody.
That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime.
Good. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, well then. So if you didn't kill them, we can't pick you or we all die. So you still survive in the group, and you're an ultimate serial killer. Brilliant.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you?
Oh, I love this game, man.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Yes, that's the problem.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
In this context, yes.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Hold on. There is one person, that's Byakuya. One person could have copied the genocide Jack cases. There's no one else, right? Can I select them? We'll find out.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Yeah. Ooh.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it.
How did you get into the girls' room? I've been constantly talking about how, like, alright, well, they swapped the thing over to have Leon, so they both go into the boys' room. How did they both get into the girls' room? Just swapping the other two over, but then putting them back.
The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Maybe use the handbook as a shield. Maybe?
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
Maybe you should just pee inside it. God.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Yeah.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
You're always suspicious, Byakuya.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Was it? Just the poolside doors aren't guarded. Oh, Mr. Midnight. Ooh. The locker rooms. That's suspicious, very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Yes.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
Alright.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. Need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yep. Well, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at the weak point and hold down the left mouse button, and you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a truth bullet. Oh, okay. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. Fucking hell. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? Right. In this case, though, we'll say that you don't use a flashback. We'll say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Fuck. We're not going to follow this. This is just the explanation of it all.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
When do I flashback?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
When do I flashback? Hearing Byakuya's comments about being a girl, I just realised a clear contradiction. It doesn't make sense to how we could have known before we'd found it. Okay, I need to make the contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely
Somebody's taken a shot.
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
What do you think? It was some mistake like I said? How do I flashback?
So, you said...
Weak spots when you character talk yellow. Oh! If you target a weak spot, then hold down the left mouse button. You can use that weak spot as a temporary bullet later. Oh, okay.
But he was acting weird... how?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
No, it's wrong.
No, it's wrong. It's not a girl.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
I don't know.
Because up until we actually discovered the body,
Thank
we
you.
couldn't
Yeah.
have known who the victim was.
Right. Okay.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Didn't we see all the males before we had to go looking for who died?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered. He's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
I thought everybody was in the dining hall, like more than as usual.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents.
Right.
The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Differences between this and the other Genocide Jack murders. Evidence that proves Jack is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? We've gone through all that, haven't we? Oh.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, it's wrong.
Whew.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before.
Boom!
Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you?
Doesn't mean that. I don't know.
And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that.
Yeah, they
fact.
wouldn't. Anybody else wouldn't know that even exists to use that.
Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah. But we've still got the evidence of the fact that it all took place in the boys' locker room. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally uncornered. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya is the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
No, because it's swapped. But we need to work out what that means.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what? Yeah, but that would, yeah. If I'm thinking, oh, but does that mean I just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something wrong. It's really the crime. Because if it was him, he couldn't have get in there.
In the girls' locker room,
But we already know ahead that it's been swapped, but we don't know how yet.
But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
What?
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
What is this guy doing?
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
No, no reason. Just start fucking up, fuck shit up.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just... Did I just take you off guard? The story suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, being so confident up until now. Maybe I never even realised that the actual crime scene could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto.
Oh god.
If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
We've got multiple bits of evidence for that. I think switch between the... So that was definitely switches the posters.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Yeah, man. What's your problem?
The poster in the girls' locker room was...
Yeah, the coffee stain, I think we've got... Yeah, the coffee stain is the other one. And then, yeah, we'll
picture
reuse
of
that
a
afterwards.
big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Judgmental much?
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Yes.
Protein coffee?
Yes.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain was scrubbed away. No worries, Puff Daddy. Thank you for being here.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
These are both heavily incorrect, but sure.
Then, does that mean that the carpet
Thank you all for
was
stopping by.
switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
That's fair, Lightning.
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing
Because
that?
of the E-pads, which we haven't even spoke about yet.
Huh? Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Here we go.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
Bro, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Oh, you're actually going to come in useful, are
I
you?
highly doubt that.
Wow.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yes. Oh, is he about to lie? Book an ebook. Oh, hang on. Hang on, so do I have to assume that it can't have been?
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh?
I don't like this if this is right.
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, but I know they've swapped it, man. That's bad. That's bad.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
There's no way to know that's Leon's ebook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
No.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing.
Which still makes zero sense, but...
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Oh, so the person give... Oh, that's weird.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
This is where Mono comes in.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
You shut the fuck up. We don't know that yet. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room? Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? Well, still, I don't know what else I can do.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
Wait, I think Mr. Midnight might have gotten it.
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd
What?
like you all to come see something.
What?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
What?
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us?
Just fix my posture.
Boring, or I'll be very unhappy.
For the fact, the posture check isn't actually a posture check anymore. It's actually just me not having any back support. But yeah. Thank you, Jane, for the posture check.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So if I even knew what had happened, the trial had been put on hold. I mean, I can if you want. I don't think you're in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
So we had to do it again? Want me to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way!
I'm gonna start calling you that then.
Probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting their hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
She's got a dissociative personality disorder, and she's actually her other personality is a famous serial killer who someone tried to pin the murder on her, but it turns out it's absolutely not.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
What? Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is...
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Is what?
Is a boy.
That's how they got in. That's why they had to hide it. Oh, fuck, man.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
You know, I was kind of joking when I was thinking, like, it kind of sounds like they have, like, a young boy's voice. But like high pitched. Yeah, because they're going there.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Ben, it's really true? Chihiro was a guy?
Why would they lie about it though?
You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Wait, so then we're back to frickin' Genocide Jill? Kind of...
He was a cross-dresser? Oh,
Yeah, okay.
on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Yeah, Sakura's a girl, yes.
So that's
Is it not obvious?
Yoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
If you have questions, I can try and fill you in. Well, it's going to be easy to me answering questions while I'm trying to fill you in completely.
Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
So, Chihiro was a boy, which Monokuma knew. So they knew. So he knew that Chihiro could get into the boys' locker room with their card. Oh shit! Means a girl could have done it. It means a girl must have done it for the same reasons. But no. No, because it's still you still have to be two boys going into the boys' locker room. So then they would have used the two girls' ones to get into the other one. I mean, one's dead, so get into the other one. Right. Okay. So it's still a male.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl,
No,
but a boy.
to think that Chihiro was actually a guy, thought had never even crossed my
And
mind.
because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
That was why it was hidden.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or
Yeah.
Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Correct.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
But it's have to be by a boy.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Just to pin it? Well, again, we're back to someone who would know that Genocide Jack is a girl. Yes, it was.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he
Thank you.
felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Yeah.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Yeah.
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
Because even if they point at him and it's wrong that he's not the killer, he still dies. So that's stupid that he's being like this.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Yeah? Right.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think Wacky might not actually be the killer after all.
I don't know why though.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
That's nout.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too...
Alexa,
how can I put it?
set light to rainbow.
I don't know how to set lights to that setting.
Okay, Alexa, set light to rainbow.
I don't know how to set lights to that setting.
Doesn't work, you can refund yourself. Unless you want it on like the all color settings, which case I'll go on my phone and do it.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you.
I want to try if it was worried. Would make a rave and potentially epilepsy warning. Can you imagine if that's something I could accidentally set it to? I've got my setting, you know, when I'm not on normal stream, when I'm on guest on streams, where it rotates through them. So I could set it to that if you wanted. Oh.
And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
It's what I do on both yours and Volk's streams if I'm guessing on them. My camera's on, it cycles through them.
So that's your thinking, huh?
But I have to do it on my phone.
You don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
What?
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I
Okay.
just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
What the fuck? Why? Why? Alexa, set light to Peru. I don't know what the fuck that color is, but you got it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Is that actually what it is? It's actually like a code. Looks like kind of peachy. Is he trying to misdirect because of Makoto being silly? I don't know. I'm surprised it worked. But
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
did it look peachy? Oh, nice. That's cool.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why?
Why?
Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
I don't know, like.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
So did he still drag the body into the girls' room, though?
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, it sounds fucking stupid of him to. That's the thing. Like, I kind of want to get to the bottom of why the fuck.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
You shouldn't have said I should have just done it. I'd been like, I don't get it. It's not even blue.
Because if we're wrong, if we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
That's the thing. Like,
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
you're such a twat. If Wacky didn't do it, then who's the real killer? There's one thing this show we can know about the killer. It's that he's a male.
I got it!
If I'm assuming it's the boys' locker room, you need a boys' handbook to get in. Since handbook is apparently broken, killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it would have had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. We need to find some more clues. Celeste's account. So this is about the... yeah.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over.
Shit.
It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, that had it. It's just missed the shot. It's so frustrating.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who?
Clues, did nobody get a look?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh god, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
What?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues, did
Yeah.
nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at... Yeah. All we need right now is any...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim?
Oh, because that's the contradiction.
Only the killer.
Right.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a double bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
Why?
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
So someone who was on cleaning duty?
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
But well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always
Well, yeah.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted
Oh,
whoever
shit,
he was
yeah.
meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship!
I think you might be right.
The point is,
No.
whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Fuck's sake, Kyoko. Why can't you just fucking do it for us?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
I don't know if we're carrying over the fact that, like, the incinerator again, but I don't know if Hifumi's still on the cleaning duty. I honestly don't know.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Does it matter?
Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. Let's see what happens. Celeste's account.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't know, I shouldn't have guessed.
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit.
Is it this one?
It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he just said was really odd. How did he know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Why did he choose?
What do you mean?
I got it! It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My
Next one.
tracksuit is black.
Oh wait, have I just missed it?
I don't even have a
Shit!
exercising.
have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way.
I think I know,
Not a chance.
but I'm trying not to let it influence anything.
You heard him, right? What he just said.
I haven't mentioned what I saw. I can mention it now. I think I saw, but I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to ignore it.
First of all, Wacky was on his way, so next bit, why did he choose?
What do you mean, this?
I got it! It matched the one that comes.
So, what? The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit?
No, that's wrong.
Oh yes, I saw. Actually, I saw that and then forgot about it.
What did you just say?
I'm thinking of something else, which might not even be a spoiler then.
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
So it actually worked out. I did see it, but then because of everything else going on, I kind of forgot about it anyway. Unfortunately, my brain absorbed the bigger one, but I'm trying to ignore that as well. It was more, as soon as they said it, I was like, oh yeah.
She never said anything.
Also, at that point, it kind of felt like people were just spamming random shit, so...
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
I don't want it to be Mundo.
You just... Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
No!
As a matter of
No!
fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
No!
Because I just...
Mundo!
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility! Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
He's really down to earth, though. He's really nice.
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
So if the jacket into her bag in a hurry, I was like, she's trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket...
But Genocide Jill, yeah, face is pretty disturbing. It's nice, though.
If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
I know, he's such a twat. What a doo-doo head.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand.
So-
It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
Yep, so am I. Absolute twat face.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However,
Fuck, Yoko's pretty good.
Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Wait, I'm picking for her.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You
Oh.
only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Oh, I heard that.
And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
Yeah? That actually happened? kind of heard it in the back of my head, and I was like, alright, sure. I assumed he'd been doing that all along.
Once I
Fuck.
picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny
Wow.
detail?
Fuck.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one.
Still very worried that we've got fucking a serial killer, the ultimate serial killer, and we've got someone who's just willing to fuck with a crime scene for the hell of it.
Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Yeah. Oh, Kyoko's pretty good. Oh, man. Damn it.
Mondo, was it
I have to
really you?
refuse to say that she's best girl, though.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
Why?
I didn't kill anyone!
Oh, my God.
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
We still know what happened with their type of rhythm. Yeah, that's true.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
What?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
What?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Addy.
What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
You didn't die as well.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then...
Yeah.
Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Chihiro's missing.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Okay.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even
It's
turn
broke
on.
as well.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
Yeah, Mono.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
But not fire resistant.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Said they can't hack it?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook
Yeah,
has
I
one
vaguely
weak
remember
point,
that.
didn't you?
They're saying that's strong enough.
You remember that?
Remember hearing it last? I'm vaguely rang a bell last week. Oh.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I
Never told us what the weak point was.
actually was.
So how did someone find out?
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Why would they tell us?
You're asking me?
I I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Yeah, that's true.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long,
Well done, Kyle.
it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it! You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Huh.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around.
Huh.
So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Noted.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. But then, why is the other one broke?
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
So he planned this. Because he said the sauna, didn't he? Why would he fight both? Why would he do both though? Leo was too far away from the fire room. He was over the other side of it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Yeah, but how did he know? Tested it with Leon's?
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Oh, okay. No, that wasn't planned. He just went. But then, Taka's should also be broke? And Taka swapped it with Leon's?
What do you mean by accident?
Oh, he stripped. Wow. Yeah, hold on.
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
Still don't know why there's two broke though.
And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
So Mundo broke his in the competition, accidentally learnt it, swapped it with Leon's. He then knew how to break it. We still didn't have a motive, but yeah, then he killed Chihiro, then took it to the sauna and melted it.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah.
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
He might have brought their handbook into the sauna. That'd be one who wore all their clothes in the sauna. This guy looks suspicious. I'm Everyone else is like, ooh, ooh. I mean, okay.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
I still don't understand this bit why they're so pally, but
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
if I found something that proves a show of a doubt. Oh shit.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Shit!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's then that proves that...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Fuck!
See?
Ah!
Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly! Let's test Makoto's. If what he says is you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if then that proves that what...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Uh-huh.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
You shut the fuck up.
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
No, but borrowing one's fine.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
Damn it!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Wacky fucks this up so hard. So that goes in there because she spotted it. Bye 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 bye. Goes in. Goes into there. And then so none of that yet. Picks it up. Smash. That doesn't seem right, but he rolls it up. What's that for? Oh! Oh, hang on. No. No, not yet. So then, so it rolls it up. So we're starting to move stuff shit around. But then how did the... We never worked out how they got into... Oh yeah, this stole it, okay. Let's try and eliminate some obvious ones. Oh, right, okay. Oh, so he moved them first. And then Byakuya came and tied them up. So... So no. It's that. It's that. Something like that. Oh. Right, good night, Jen. So you rolled that up. Swap. No, because... We need something between all this. Oh, there we go. Beep goes in. Stress, stress, stress. Twat face. This is the... I'll leave that for now, because it might be the girl's door. So Byakuya appears. He's already got the cable in hand, so put that there. Takes the blood, writes on the wall. Oh, is that the sauna? Is that what that's meant to be? So then... Something like that. I've still got a ton missing though. This could just be completely wrong. Oh. Let's just do it. We've still got 18 minutes. I don't think this is right though.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Yep.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste?
Molly.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out. Even
though it was night
she
time.
made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
With their card, as normal.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro,
Yeah.
and attacked him. And that's
Cool.
where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Yeah. I didn't know the reason right. Didn't mean to. It's the same as that one. Took the poster off. Picked up the dumbbell. Put the poster back up. That seem right? Because like this would have gone here. Drop. This might be wrong. Where the card was. We can't change the card one. We can't change that. I'm just saying this is exactly the same as that, so I wouldn't use it. Okay. I'm with you. Okay. So you think that? So it goes to the girls' room. In. Gets the new card. Goes in. So I think let's put the poster up. An empty room after that. I thought we said it was the sauna though. I thought we said this was the sauna. Just the locker room. So, also, you can see the shadow on the... I think this is what's meant to be... It would either be the sauna or it would be like pre-gun. But I think you're right. I think you're right with that one. I think this is right. I think putting the poster back up. I think the dumbbell is just a bit random. I think this is right. I think this is all right. I don't know whether it's this one or this one though. Because this shows the sauna, so I'm thinking it's this one. Oh, right, fair. In fact, I might actually swap these because this doesn't actually tell us anything. I'll put that there. And then this is it landing. To be on fire. Oh, I got what you mean. I got what you mean. Yeah, you might be right. Oh, so it's that then? Meant for that. I think we run with this and then we'll go from there. This part's fine because he's a fucking idiot. I think this might be good though. Let's go.
Exactly what happened.
So roll up, take the fair
Which
off.
is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act.
Yeah.
First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet.
Yeah.
Then, removing the bloody poster.
Yeah. Nice. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room.
Yeah.
A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall.
Yep.
Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room.
Shit! There's no reason for this to be it though, is it? Maybe it is the poster? I remember that.
Exactly what happened. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Oh, thank God.
And that's exactly how the killer did it.
But it's like how they got the carpet in there as well. I think it just like skips a couple of things.
With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Which is fucking stupid.
That could have been the end of things, but no.
Yeah, it only defends it if you don't use a girl's keycard. If he used his boy's keycard, then yeah, he'd have been ripped to shreds. But he went and got the other ones, which it just kind of glazes over.
Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Absolute twat.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library.
Why was he even
and
out?
then he got to work.
There's been no one out at night, and this has been 3 people out.
He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
It was 2 a.m. But,
Then,
yeah.
using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Oh, thank God.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Why, man, you get tit?
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence?
I just did it all.
You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mundo's the killer. That already revealed itself early in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mundo's handbook is right now, we know where it is. Once I do that, everything becomes clear. New element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear it? Absolutely. Let's talk a bit about fever time and nega time. Nega? Nega. Okay. During the bullet time, if you press the space bar, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push buttons at random, you won't miss. You can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy your opponent's verbal assault. Nega. Nega. Right, okay, I can remember that, thank you. This only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access the special time, right? That's what I was worried about. But to me, even Nega could, like, be close. So I've also prepared something called Nega time that your opponent can use. If your opponent activates Nega time during the time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher for you to hit the buttons in rhyme. If you would activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, your opponent won't use Nega time. Well then, good luck and have fun. So we'll try and use the fever time. So we are fighting him. I thought so.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. Show me some evidence.
Boom! That went better that time.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now.
Yeah, I was thinking that. But then the more I was getting crazy, I was like, well, how are we going to convince Taka to vote for Mondo? So
once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why, man?
I did it. I killed him.
Oh! Fantastic. 81, nice.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, Jane was like, I don't think, but when you're playing the game, and we spent some time with him as well, oh, he seemed...
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on!
We never knew it, yeah, I don't think we ever knew what it was.
Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a...
Oh, I don't care who it is, I'm still excited. Although, I guess if it was ever Celeste, that would be put to the test.
Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
I know, but it's still not going to happen, will it?
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I know he would, but I'm saying we don't know what it was, do we? But yeah, I guess. Literally looks like a fucking battered fish on his head. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy this.
What?
Uh-oh, looks like this looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened who killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Uwada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. I thought it had to be unanimous. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. Yes, it does. I think it's probably what it's going for. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he could kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Oh well. Well, looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so let me explain on his behalf.
Actually...
Oh, okay. The story of this murder this time is a sad story of two men. Yeah, I think he's gonna... Yeah. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward. Anyway, there was once a young boy. His name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember. He couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. now nobody will be able to say things like, even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. You sound like folk doing voices. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Should I be offended? As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Wait. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept his fate. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. Oh, of course. And the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced to be revealed of the embarrassing secrets. Oh my god. I didn't even think of that. Which, of course, included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
That was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, anyone around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things where we are. We may talk about it later. After trying my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
That was my chance.
I want to change.
When I get stronger, I accept who I am. Strong enough so that someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll be better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so... That day, he made a commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his body and mind. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. That's happy well until dead. When he wanted to tell the person's secret first, and then ask him to help him from there. The person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been carefully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo is very similar of a strong man that Chihiro has always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will give me some courage. That says Chihiro, but says, so he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That's definitely... okay, whatever. Glitch! Immersion ruined. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep his promise he'd made to Chihiro. Wait, what did he do? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Huh? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Isn't that a cover-up what he'd done?
Certainly.
Could have been part of it. But I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made with Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his promise? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, everyone would have been arguing how she got into that boys' locker room. Once they started up, the last few of us would immediately begin to suspect his identity, so try to protect Hiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Yeah. Then, Mundo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right? So why? Why did you do it? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if they've been killing someone. That's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is the high of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's why that's all there is to it. Well, while I'm on the subject, why don't I tell you the embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know? You know what Mundo did? Yeah, you called it. He killed his own brother. Mundo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had a chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mundo's older brother was named Diaya Uwada. Mundo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Diaya that Mundo ever got on a motorcycle. Mundo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only Mundo he could trust or respect. That's kinda long gone, but the end of the case now. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Yeah, we're pretty much only just finished that now. Mundo was the epitome of a starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the characteristic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. Before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Diaya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother Mundo. In the beginning, everything was peachy and gravy. When Mundo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw at Mundo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Diaya, huh? I created this gang with his bare hands. Mundo's gonna just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mundo heard the gossip and whispers from the other members of the gang. Which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Dayo. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna come out on top. On the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mundo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The Kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into an oncoming traffic. But suddenly, oh damn. Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Dare never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. God's the team, you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He never admitted to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident, and as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Dale was going to lose to this kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mundo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Oh, Kyle, deal with those, please. Strong. Did you see the other one there? Yeah, you got it. Cool. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. Oh, that's fine. That's cool. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced to reveal the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mundo killed his own brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, anything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt had been carried around, that would have been for nothing. So that's why. Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with all kinds of fuzzy uneasiness. Just started swelling around. Never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or anything. After a while, that fuzziness, uneasiness, turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. It was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me his secret. Seriously? Jesus!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Oh? Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would... You're right, but...
I want to change.
Oh. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. Felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. Can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma may tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You saying I should say it? Just say it? Saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness and try and overcome it. The kind of strength I'd never had. I was so jealous of him. And that Jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mundo. I feel like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't think I'm feeling sorry for him as you are, but. What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? You trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you, prick.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than they are. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had a dumbbell in my hand. I was just staring at him down on the ground. Oh shit. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
But he's always so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away for everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him! You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, from a memory. For that he killed another living human being in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. We just know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go away! Say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It's what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now. The time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The rocket that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special
Oh. Now then, I prepared a very special punishment for Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Oh.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Oh, that was brilliant. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. Caught typhoon. Brother! Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Can't believe it's not Mundo Butter. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realise once again. Of course, he had to. What a disappointment. So, is this the end of the game? Byaku, yeah?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? Again? One of our friends is dead. You realise that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that I just don't understand why. Why'd you go out of your way to disguise Mundo's crime?
What?
Why? It's obvious. Because it made things more interesting. Oh, fucking kill him. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death, chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
You ignored the nighttime rule too? I hope so. Because even Tuckle's not that bad now. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mundo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. Oh, when you actually witnessed the murder? It was an agreement, not a rule. He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So, you're saying you knew the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time. To have the answer revealed right at the beginning. This is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. You're such an idiot. I thought it would have livened things up. You did all that to liven things up.
I see.
To hear about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene. But damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before I'd reached that point. Of course. Becky Turner looked me right in the eye. I feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. That's just a remarkable someone. It never did. I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I decided to become blackened, I know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Okay.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next. You'd like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is what? Shut up, my not worst girl. Why do you have such a stupid question like that? Worst girl. Don't ask stupid questions, because they're mint, that's why. Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. Yeah. What do you mean? Me? Me? Me?
What the heck?
Why do people keep doing that? Good grief, you don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing? Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how exciting!
Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I'd never stoop to a level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I achieve complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion. Not a spoiler, by the way, I'm just trying to chase his mid. No, I know, because she's really smart. That's why I keep being like, oh, she knows she's really good at it. No, it was the stead of, I kind of agree, but she still can't be best girl for questioning stupid things, and she's not Celeste.
You're getting all riled
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew it wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. Those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it.
The girl hasn't killed anyone yet.
Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
Everyone. There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is this? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
We received a crazy diamond present.